I can go around, I know in the interest of time, I'll just skip the other things and just move on to thinking about, we talked about the real-time analytics. We talked about we want to do the whole volume type of analytics where I look at, so I just missed in the previous slide, there was this a retailer, they wanted to analyze years and years of data to get what is the buying pattern, what's the behavior, and so on. So that is the other aspect of it, which is I'm doing a lot of historical analysis. So there are what we're seeing is there is most of the use cases, there is no one way or the other. It's a combination of many of these things. Right? So to look at one is you need to figure out how do I ingest this enormous amount of data? Right? How do I handle all these things? How do I extract structure out of the unstructured data? And then the next thing comes is how do I do deep analysis? So in the sometimes when I earlier said I asked this question, how big is big? One is the volume that determines its big data problem, and sometimes it may not be just the volume, but it will be about how deep the analytics that you're interested in doing. That qualifies as a big data. And related to that is what you're saying here. If you want to analyze some anomalies, certain patterns, because ultimately it's all about figuring out is there a pattern, is there an anomaly there. And I want to augment it with my existing traditional warehouses and other things. Of course, now there is so much data, where do I actually begin with? And I need some kind of experimental ad hoc analysis, something that will help me visualize or navigate further. So these are some of the themes that we generally keep seeing when it comes to big data applications. And I'm talking from my personal experience of building few of these. So because the challenges of, say, real-time analytics is quite different from a challenge of offline or historical analysis, there is no one technology that will work for all. Right? So you have to target specific technologies for specific things. For example, we use Hadoop for offline or historical analysis of a huge amount of data. So we have this one financial institution which was interested in figuring out microsegmenting. And when we're talking about microsegmentation today, most of the segmentation happens on demographics, like all the people having in this particular age range, having this range of earnings, living in a metro, have this kind of spending habit. And based on that, they'll have their fraud detection modules or upsell, cross-sell modules, and so on. But it may so happen that I, a person who, even though I fall in that group, in a particular month, because it's my birthday or it's my anniversary, I spend a lot of money. Or every year, if you look at December, I go on vacation and I spend a lot of money. So anything huge variation from my regular thing is not an anomalous thing for me at that point in time. So if you really want to personalize your offers or personalize your service, then this company wanted to build models on an individualized base, individualized base. Right? They wanted to do this microsegmentation where n is equal to 1 right, at each individual person. So they took the 7 years of the credit card history of each credit card, all the credit card transactions of each person, and then built individualized models. Right? So these kind of things is where we find Hadoop is the right choice. When it comes to the stream, the real time, the data baby I talked about, that's where we use the technology called stream computing technology. And again, this is well-known technology, and there are a few vendors who offer this. Then there are things like I want to do a lot of unstructured analysis. I want to do text analytics. For example, any social media analysis. I want to understand what the mood of people is, what the sentiment they're talking about, what are they interested in buying, and so on. then I have to do a lot of text analytics. Now, you wouldn't start with very basic things. How do I identify a verb? How do I identify a noun? And then start writing the Java parser or the C parser or the Perl. Or if you start doing at that level, that's just too much of a task for a developer to do. So you need higher level constructs which can help you do these things. And on top of it, we can build quicker applications. And another thing is, most of these use cases will have, big data will not be sitting in a silo. They will have to have integration with the rest of the information architecture. You have to see if you're doing a social media analysis, is how much, whether people are liking the product that I'm selling, and if you figure out in the Bangalore region people are liking it, but if my sales data is not supporting it, then there is something wrong. So in order to do that, I need to merge or marry the two worlds, the structured world of my sales and transaction data with the unstructured world of social media or call center or other data.